Hi, I'm Michael Marin. At Holy Name Medical Center, we believe that all citizens need to be informed about the important healthcare issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by PNC Bank, Holy Name Medical Center in Teaneck, New Jersey. Healing begins here. Berkeley College. QualCare Inc., a local managed care company covering 750,000 New Jersey residents. The Russell Berry Foundation. Cohn Resnick, Accounting, Tax, and Advisory, where forward thinking creates results. And by the Ohlendorf Center. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, Small News, Big News, True Jersey, and by Commerce Magazine.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. It's my pleasure to introduce a very special gentleman. He is Dr. Alan Goldsmith, president and founder of the Jewish Renaissance Family of Organizations Foundations, and also the author of a book called The 5 Cent Miracle. Good to see you, Alan.
Thank you very much for having me.
By the way, the 5 Cent Miracle, what is it?
It's a story actually about how we got from working in the charity and my grandfather. My grandfather came from Europe, and both parents had to work. And so one day I came to my grandfather's house, and he said, Boychik. Boychik in Yiddish means young man. That's a good term. He says, you know, open your hand up. And I opened my hand up, and he put a nickel in. He says, come, Boychik, we're going to get some candy. And so he took my hand, and we started to go around the corner, and he stopped. And there was a man with no legs in a wheelchair with a tin cup and pencils. And I was 6 years old. And so he says to me, well, what are you going to do with your nickel? And I said, Gramp, I'm going to get candy, you know, the one with the dots on it, you know, with the candy, you know. He says, I know, but do you think that he could use your nickel more? And I thought about it, you know, 5, 6 year olds, candy. But I thought, you know, I'd rather get a pat on the head from my grandfather and a kiss on the cheek. I said, okay, Gramp, I'll give him my nickel. So he took my hand, and he walked over to the man. I put the nickel in, and this man just looked at me. And this was back in 1956. A nickel was worth a lot of money. And he said, thank you, young man. And he looked at my grandfather, and he says, you're truly teaching him the ways of the Almighty. And my grandfather was very humble. He said, if you're going to do something, give somebody something, put it in an envelope, stick it under the door, and run away. So he nodded his head, he took my hand, and we started walking. And then all of a sudden, I felt something wet on my face. And I looked up, and I said, Gramp, why are you crying? I gave him my nickel. He says, I know, these aren't tears of sorrow, but tears of joy. And he pointed to my heart and says, you just lit one candle, and that one candle can light thousands and thousands more. And here we are sitting today, and we developed 4 organizations under the Jewish Renaissance Foundation.
The Jewish Renaissance Family Organizations Foundation, and also that's part of the reason why you won the 2014 New Jersey Governor's Jefferson Award for public service with our partners and good friends at PNC, who told us all about you because they're big partners with the Jefferson Awards, and we see you right there, and it's really good stuff. What was it like winning the Jefferson Award?
Well, I like to say that I was the person that went up and got the award. I have over 285 staff members through all our organizations, and they're the ones that truly deserve that award, not me. I mean, I kind of guide and show people, and they take the nuts and bolts and put everything together. So
what does your organization do?
Our organizations, there are 4 organizations. The Jewish Renaissance Foundation, which was started about 20 years ago, is our social agency. We're a community action agency. We're a family success center. We do international missions all over the world. I was a Goodwill.
In Haiti as well?
In Haiti, yes. We actually, I was asked by the Consul General, I was a former Goodwill Ambassador at the United Nations Economic and Social Council, and we went right after the earthquake, and we developed a school. Merck gave us a grant.
Right now.
Yes, that's my little girl. Every time I come, I have to bring her licorice. And we developed a school. We have 100 children there.
You developed a school in Haiti?
In Haiti, yes. We were there. My director of our international program was Haitian. He was a former commissioner, Yves Theodore. And this school was there. They wanted us to take it over, and we did. We built a school. The school was 100 children in like a garage, no water and no toilet. And so we built this thanks to the Merck's grant, and I just got word the other day that 100% of our children, 100 children, passed the national exam.
You also do things not just in Haiti, but you build school-based health clinics as well?
Correct. We are the largest school-based health center in the state of New Jersey.
What does that mean?
That means that we have right now 6 school-based health centers in Newark schools. And
what are we looking at right now?
We're looking at, this is our grand opening of our school, our community health center in Central High School. And this is our grand opening. It just opened up. We have pediatrics. We do internal medicine. We have dental. This is our bus that goes around. It's a dental and medical bus that goes around thanks to Horizon.
Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield.
They definitely
one
gave
of our great underwriters and supporters.
And one of our big supporters also. And they help to fund that bus. And we have 2 of those that go around. We do the camps during the underprivileged camps. Our community health centers are basically for underserved and uninsured children. Now, the distinguished that we have 6 of those, and then we have our large 50,000 square foot facility in Perth Amboy. We were the first faith-based, federally qualified healthcare center in the country, which was fantastic.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
But you also work with Boys and Girls Clubs and organizations like that.
We saw a tremendous need. During the summer, a young girl had passed away, drowned in a pool. And if you remember in Camden, possibly 3 children were playing in a car. They got locked in the trunk and perished. I said, we really need to have something for our children. And so we have 2 Boys and Girls Club, one in Perth Amboy. We have one in Carteret. They do fantastic work. We're proud. Our step team had won the state championship, and they were invited to Disneyland. And they took 4th place throughout the whole country. So from Carteret, it was just fantastic.
What do you get out of this?
I get chills right now just talking about it, but I'm going back to where my grandfather is, and we lit all these candles. We have our saying that it's our credo throughout all our organization, and that's we're all one people with one heart.
Say that again.
We're all one people with one heart. And that means basically God put us on this earth for a reason, and it's to help other people, neighbors helping neighbors. And that's why we're doing this. I mean, I've helped people that were homeless. We gave them jobs. They just need a chance. And helping people. I mean, we had a lady come in, was crying because her child was sick and didn't know what was wrong with her. And she came back and says, Dr. Goldsmith, it's unbelievable. You know, all I needed was an antibiotic because she didn't have money. She didn't have money to come in.
Do you think a lot of this, most of this, if not all of it, came from what your grandfather taught you?
100%.
100%?
100%.
Because of the nickel that he gave you, you want to get candy, you put it in the cup of this guy who is on the street in 1956, you think that's what it comes from?
That and my upbringing from my parents. We were always giving. We were always taught to give to charity. When I was in just graduating college, I joined the Peace Corps. I was in the Peace Corps for 2 years in Venezuela. This is going back, way back when it was almost started, 1970. There's nothing better in my feeling that you can get from helping somebody.
So I got to ask you something.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people struggling today to make ends meet, dealing with difficult economic situations or difficult economic situation. And they say, listen, I appreciate everything you're saying, but I got to take care of my own. Got to take care of myself, my family. I can't be worrying about someone else. I feel for them, but I can't be dealing with that, you say.
I say there's always a road that you can help somebody, whether it's helping an older person across the street picking up bags. There's a story that happened to me where a young man had come into my office and needed $100. And he said, I've been all over to the churches and I've been to the synagogues, and they told me to come to see you. And I'm saying, well, you know what, I'm not a bank, but you know what, what's the problem? He says, I'm laid off during the summers and I'm a janitor. I promise, Dr. G, I'll pay you back, I'll pay you back. And I thought, I hope he's not going to buy drugs or booze.
You didn't know?
Yeah, I didn't know. But I said, all right. He said, oh, I promise, I'll pay you back, I'll pay you back. And I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to get the money back or not, but guess what? Here's what I want you to do. I said, I want you to help somebody like I'm helping you. It doesn't have to be with money. But the way you pay me back is you have to let me know what you did. 2 months went away. I forgot about it. Go ahead, and he sent me an email. Dr. G, my debt's paid. I said, okay. And I'm reading the email, and it says, I was in the supermarket, and an elderly person with a walker dropped the bag, and I picked it up. I said, I hope that wasn't the whole $100 was. And she told me she needed a ramp. She couldn't get up her steps. So I bought the wood, and I went ahead and built a ramp. And I told her what had happened, and my debt is paid. And I was crying reading that. But it didn't stop there. The lady found out, got my telephone number, called me up, and she was typing Braille. And she donated 1 month of free Braille to the Braille Library. So a little act, yeah. Look at where it could go. And that's what the book's really about, is paying it forward.
There it is, pay it forward. A 5-cent miracle. Dr. Alan Goldsmith, before I let you out here real quick, sure. The #1 leadership lesson that you've learned in all your life is? A life is worth living if it's lived to help others. Good stuff. Alan, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay right there. Thank you. This is One-on-One. We'll be right back right after this. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
To see more One-on-One with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We are pleased to welcome Michelle Abate, Director of Marketing at Crystal Springs Resort. How you doing?
I'm good, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Tell everyone what Crystal Springs is, who may not know.
Okay. Well, Crystal Springs Resort is a 4-season resort located in northwestern New Jersey. We have an abundance of wonderful amenities highlighted by 4 hotel properties, 6 golf courses, 2 spas, a 135,000 bottle wine cellar, and we're somewhat of a hidden gem when it comes to resort areas in New Jersey.
Why hidden? We're taking a look as we talk about it. Why hidden?
Hidden because when you think about the tourist landscape in the state, people largely think of the shore area. So there's the Jersey Shore, Atlantic City, for better or for worse, and when you ask people what's in the northwestern corner of the state, you get a lot of head scratching, and people do not know that there's beautiful scenic mountains, pristine lakes, hiking trails, vineyards, wineries, and this wonderful hidden gem of a resort.
You know, let's talk about it. We're doing this in the winter of 2015. Unpredictable weather, challenging times. Mm-hmm. Do you pray for snow?
In the wintertime, we do. It's funny because we pray for snow in the winter. However, we have 6 golf courses. We actually are the 3rd largest golf resort in the world.
Really?
Really.
So hold on. The 3rd largest golf resort, meaning in terms of activity or in terms of?
Courses, 6 courses. So Mission Hills in China is #1. Pinehurst in the Carolinas is #2. So who knew that the 3rd largest golf resort in the world was in northern New Jersey?
But also the other thing, and I don't know if we have a shot of this, but you have I call it, it's more than a pool area. Describe that.
The biosphere, I'm sure you're talking about. It is amazing. It's amazing. So we built Grand Cascades Lodge in 2007, so it opened just 8 years ago. And originally our owner was going to put a traditional outdoor pool behind the hotel, but he's always thinking big. So he said, we have to do better than an outdoor pool. And he constructed this amazing indoor atrium, 10,000 square feet, lush tropical foliage. You think you're in the Caribbean, 140-foot slide, which I must say the first time I went down, I was addicted to.
Well, you were addicted. I was afraid, and then I was addicted.
Okay, good. It's really wonderful. There's an indoor hot tub, sauna, and steam room, and guests just love it, and they really think they're away.
It is very nice. Talk about some of the festivals. I know we have some footage of. You have some. Is there a
Oh, the New Jersey Wine and Food Festival is coming up.
The Wine and Food Festivals.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
It is, and truly not because I work there, it is such an amazing event. We're in year 7. It's going to be March 20th to the 22nd this year.
What goes on?
We bring together the best winemakers and restaurants in the New York metro area. So it's 30 restaurants, over 100 wines and champagnes, a 32-piece orchestra, a silent auction that we do in partnership with the James Beard Foundation, which is also a philanthropic part of what we do. The auction actually helps benefit culinary programs and scholarships with the James Beard Foundation.
So it's a charity effort.
In part, it is a charity effort, and that's what makes it all the more special. So people are coming and having an awesome time. We actually have an after party in the Biosphere pool area. The first year we did it, there was a lot of heavy marketing going on, but now my job's become easy because people come.
But
they
in
love
the
it.
fall, I know that you have Oktoberfest, which is a big deal.
Very big deal. My goodness, I think we're on year 29 for Oktoberfest.
29?
Mm-hmm. So what was a one-day festival became a 2-day festival and now has become a 2-weekend festival. And I think the head count was about 18,000 this past October.
What do they do over these 2 weekends?
Well, lots of German beer and German food.
So
the
it's
Jimmy
really
Sturr Orchestra.
The who, I'm sorry?
Jimmy Sturr. We get performers that come every year, German brass bands, and people just love it. Crazy contests, wife carrying relays, hippity hop games. So it's really a festival for kids and adults, and people love it. They put the date on their calendar, and just like the wine festival, they come every year.
You know, one more thing I want to ask you about. I first read about this and I thought this must be a misprint because I know you have these golf courses you're very proud of. Mm-hmm. And then I heard about foot golf.
Yes, foot golf.
What?
It is amazing. It is so amazing. So I'll tell you how foot golf came about at the resort. Our VP of golf, we were sitting in a meeting and he's reading an article and he said, snowboarding is to skiing as X is to golf. And I'm like, forget these games. What are you talking about? And he said, foot golf. And I'm scratching my head and I'm looking at him. Sure enough, foot golf is this amazing sport. It's a combination of golf and soccer, originating in Europe, and it has just caught fire in the US. And we were the first course in the Northeast to open for foot golf. And now they're ubiquitous. There's so many in New Jersey now, but we actually had a pro-am in the fall. We attracted players from 9 countries.
So it's a very competitive thing?
It's competitive, but the beauty of the sport, unlike golf and soccer, which are super competitive, you don't really need a specific skill set. Children play, adults can play, great for bachelor parties or girlfriends' getaways, takes 2 hours to play and super economical.
Last question, Crystal Springs giving back to the community.
Yes.
How so?
So as I said, we do with the James Beard Foundation, and also in February every year, our sister property, Mountain Creek, hosts the Special Olympics. And it's so wonderful. There's 300 adults and children, all with intellectual disabilities. Great camaraderie, forms a sense of pride, and we're so happy to participate. We love doing it.
And that's your sister property?
Yes, so right now they're open for skiing, snowboarding, snow tubing. We have the largest snow tubing park in America, and it's really the most convenient for all the New York metro area.
You also have a few weddings once in a while up there.
Oh my goodness.
I do know that.
So many weddings. It's crazy. Sometimes we have 3 weddings a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We don't have enough space for the brides.
Michelle Abate, Director of Marketing, who sometimes has to market and sometimes the word, it gets around when things happen and people talk about it. Crystal Springs Resort, and the sister resort is?
Mountain Creek.
Michelle, thank you for coming in
Thank
and
you,
spreading the word.
Steve. Appreciate you having me.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Stay with us, one-on-one. We'll be right back right after this. Very nice, thank you.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
When injured service members start the journey home, Wounded Warrior Project is there with everything from a backpack of care items to lifetime support and caring. From the healing power of nature retreats to building healthier bodies, minds, and spirits, and even to training for today's most promising professions. If you're a wounded warrior or know one who could use help, point them in the right direction. Find WWP.org.
We are honored to have Danny Rodriguez, Outreach Coordinator with the Wounded Warrior Project in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and also a Marine Corps veteran, served 1999-2003 in Afghanistan and Pakistan, serving our country. We thank you for your service.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
For those who do not know what the Wounded Warrior Project is, they may see spots, public service announcements on the air, but don't truly understand what it is. Describe it.
We take a holistic approach to healing. We have 20 different programs and services under 4 pillars, primarily mind, body, economic empowerment, and engagement. So we take a holistic approach to healing our service members and working with them and their family members.
Returning veterans need a lot, and some of them need different things.
Absolutely.
What is needed the most?
I think support and engagement. Oftentimes,
give me an example of what that means.
Well, so a lot of these men and women, they're sort of getting forced out of the military because of injuries that they may have sustained while serving their country. So they sort of lost that they have a lack of purpose, so to speak, when they come back here. So they don't have that service call that they did have while they were in the military. So what we try to do is get them engaged not only with other veterans, but other organizations that will also help them sort of fill that need of helping community. Going out there and serving their community, continuing to do what they intended to do while they were in the military.
How much of it is about helping that veteran physically rehab?
So physical is very important, but mentally might be even more important than that, because what it comes down to is they need to be comfortable with their new normal. It's never going to be the same as it was before. And what we say is they have to be comfortable with their new type of normal that they'll have in their life. So that means maybe they were active in skiing and snowboarding. Well, and maybe they did lose a leg or an arm. Well, we have adaptive ski programs to help them, show them that they're still capable of doing all the things that they were doing before. They just have to change it a little bit and get comfortable with their new normal.
Why did you decide to get connected to the Wounded Warrior Project?
Well, they sort of found me. I went down a little road and that a lot of us do. I didn't have the support system when I got out. It was 2003. The Wounded Warrior Project and organizations like it were just getting started. So I sort of lost my way a little bit and did a little self-medicating and got into a little trouble. Wounded Warrior Project found me and helped me get back onto the right path, and after a couple of years I felt that I was ready to continue on and I wanted to give back.
Why?
It was sort of what was built into me. I think everybody that serves in the military has sort of a calling to duty, just because
to each other?
To not each other, just to everyone. I mean, to this nation. Only 1% of the U.S. population serves in the military, and that 1% still has that calling of duty and esprit de corps that they want to continue to develop throughout their life.
Curious about this. We've been asking people who are in leadership positions like yourself what the most important of all the leadership lessons you've learned in your life so far, not only in the military but in this role with the Wounded Warrior Project. What would you say the most important leadership lesson that you've learned so far is?
I would say Semper Gumby. So Semper Gumby, in the Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, always faithful. Semper Gumby, meaning just like Gumby, you have to be flexible. And that rings true in the Wounded Warrior Project. We have over 20 different programs, but a saying that we have inside is that every program is a pilot. even our programs that have been around since the conception of the Wounded Warrior Project are still considered pilots because we need to be able to adapt to our surroundings, to the changing environment of the veterans, to everything, so that we have to be able to always be flexible.
Always be flexible.
Always be flexible.
You have a plan, you got to work that plan, but
you might have to get there a different route than you initially intended.
What's the TRACK program?
TRACK programs, it's one of our marquee programs, very unique to any service organization out there. It's a education program, unlike any other, where we actually relocate veterans that are interested in pursuing higher level education to one of 2 locations at this point, Jacksonville, Florida, or San Antonio, Texas. And they'll go through a cohort, with a cohort of fellow men, women,
a group
of servicemen and women that have served in combat. It's for combat veterans that maybe want to get back into that education line and need a little bit of help along the way. So it's sort of a military boot camp, so to speak, of education. So they get out, they have learned new learning techniques, new studying habits, and they learn how to sort of progress through that education piece of their life.
You know, there are veterans watching right now. There are family members of veterans, who care very much about them. What advice would you have for them right now?
Utilize all the resources that you have available to you. If you're utilizing just one organization, you're failing yourself. There's organizations all over that deal with multitude different aspects of your life. Wounded Warrior Project, I might be a little bit biased, I feel is the best one, but definitely utilize all the resources that are out there for you.
And finally, 30 seconds left. We had your website up throughout the entire program. Those of us who want to help, we can contribute money.
Absolutely, you can contribute money. You don't even need to contribute money. Just cards saying thank you. I mean, any little bit helps, and these servicemen and women really do appreciate it.
We say thank you to you and all of those who have served our country proudly and bravely, and everything you do every day. Thank you, Danny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by PNC Bank, Holy Name Medical Center, Berkeley College, QualCare Inc., the Russell Berry Foundation, Cone Resnick, and by the Ohlendorf Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One on One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.
I'm Taiwan Join, Berkeley College, class of 2011, Assistant General Manager, Vera Wang.
Kate Hickey, class of 2006, Project Manager at Trocarico Architecture and Design.
Sal Frasina, class of 2009, Chief Construction Inspector, Con Edison.
Tracy Mondale, class of 2010, Sales Space Manager, PepsiCo.
From different walks of life, our students succeed in different ways, yet their first step is exactly the same: Berkeley College.